Hello and welcome to Travel Beans. Today I'm afraid that Alex is sick, so you've got me instead. What I've decided to do today is to make a video about depression. It is more positive than it sounds, I promise. Basically, the last couple of weeks have been incredible for spreading awareness. We have had a couple of people who I want to talk to you guys about who have helped to spread the word of happiness and to help share their advice on what they do to stay happy. So first up, we have Heather and Curtis from A Curious Expedition.
We are going to do a little bit of a more serious video. Serious for us. Yeah. This was inspired by the Travel Beans.
And they made a really open and honest video about their experience with depression and gave us a lot of useful tips as to what helps them.
They are on this quest to do a year of happiness, finding what makes them happy and doing it. And that got us thinking, and it's a very interesting concept. A couple years back, we doubled down on our quest to finding balance. And for us, it's the same thing. If you want to call it happiness, you want to call it balance, you want to call it contentment, peace of mind.
So first off, Heather talks about creating balance in your life. Another way of saying balance is lifestyle, I suppose. So as many of you may already know, Alex and I have decided to embark on our year of happiness, trying to find as many things to make us happy as possible. And one of our main focuses is lifestyle, because as Heather says, you need to find this balance in your lifestyle to make sure that you can be as happy as possible. So many people that I know are miserable in their jobs, and considering we spend 40 hours a week, which is a quarter of our life in the office, working at a job we hate, it is no wonder that so many people are suffering at the moment and so many people are miserable. So of course lifestyle is a massive, massive part of happiness. And so that's also part of the reason why we're going to be making a digital nomad series for you guys, because we really believe that the digital nomad lifestyle can help so many people with happiness. It's helped us tremendously. So keep your eyes out for that. That will be coming out in the next couple of weeks, and we are super excited to share that with you guys. Curtis also makes a really good point about living in the moment.
You can always try to live in the moment, and it's a very Buddhist thing about don't fret about the past has happened. You cannot change the past.
You can learn from it.
You can learn from it.
Definitely don't just forget about the past.
The future is the future.
Now this is something that we are all guilty of. We spend too much of the present time thinking about the future or dwelling on the past, I guess. And we forget to just enjoy the moment and enjoy now. And I think that's such a important part of happiness, is to just appreciate and be grateful for the moments that you're having in the present time. So thank you, Curtis, so much for that piece of advice. I think it is really, really useful. Also, our friend Toni, who we met traveling 6 years ago when Alex and I first met, she has her own blog. She posts regular blogs about travel and lifestyle, and she makes awesome cartoons to go along with them. I'll leave a link in the description. So Toni has written an article about finding your values and using that to create happiness. I think this is a really interesting idea, because when you actually think about it, of course, when you do something that is against your values, that is against what intrinsically feels right to you, you're gonna feel terrible about it. So of course, I think finding and discovering and pinpointing your values is a really important step to finding happiness. So Toni talks about her top 3 values, which she has narrowed it down to. Number 1 is being creative. I completely agree with her on this one. When I am creative, I find it so much easier to, as Curtis says, live in the moment. When you're drawing or painting or making videos, whatever it is that is being creative, you're so focused on the moment that you forget about worrying about the future. You forget about dwelling on the past, and it really, really helps. So I completely agree with her on that first point. Her second value is learning and exploring. I obviously completely agree with that, because Alex and I love to explore, as many of you already know. Travel is a huge source of happiness for me and Alex. By exploring the world and traveling around and meeting new people, you inadvertently learn a lot also. So I think learning is very, very important for happiness. And number 3, being healthy. This is the third of her values, which she says is very, very important to her for her happiness. And I think I completely agree with that. So Alex and I have been doing a boot camp class for the last couple of months, and it has helped us tremendously. I never realized how much exercise can actually increase your mood and give you so much more energy until you're not doing it. If anyone out there is struggling with depression, get active, get outside, do some exercise. It definitely helps. So to summarize everything that we have learned this week, we have number one, which is look at your lifestyle, your day-to-day life, and create a lifestyle that makes you happy. If going to work causes you stress and anxiety, don't do it. I know it's easier said than done for a lot of people, but if you have the possibility to quit, to look for another job, please do that, because you're spending a quarter of your life doing this thing called work, so you may as well make it something that you wholeheartedly enjoy. Number two, living in the moment. Obviously, we can regret things from the past, but we cannot change them. Anything that has already been done is done, so there's no point in us dwelling on it. Obviously, that's much easier said than done. I'm guilty of it as well as many other people, but number two, living in the moment, I think is a fantastic point for happiness. Number three, education and setting goals. I think it's really important to set goals if you want to feel a sense of purpose, a sense of fulfillment. That's something that I found the YouTube channel and this digital nomad life has really given me, the sense of fulfillment that I didn't have before in my old job. Okay, number four, meditation, appreciation, and reflection. These all three things do kind of link in with number two, which is living in the moment. This is something that keeps coming up again and again in everything that I read about depression and happiness, is that people who seem to be dealing with it a lot better are those who meditate, those who have a gratitude journal, those who reflect on the happier moments, living in the moment. Number five, find your values. Decide what your most important values are in your life and live by them. I want to say a huge thank you for Heather and Curtis for making that incredible video, incredibly open and honest video about their experiences. If you guys haven't seen their video yet, we will leave a link in the description below. And also a massive thank you to Toni, who wrote an incredible article with really good advice about how she deals with finding happiness in her daily life in values. So thank you guys so much for watching, and if any of you out there are suffering with depression, we are here for you. Send us a message anytime you need to. You're not alone, I promise. Thank you so much for watching. Alex will be back in the next video. Please leave a comment. Any advice that you have for anyone else who's watching to help them find happiness, leave it below. All it's going to do is make someone's life better. Thank you so much for watching. Give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe.